July 1863, the lead elements of the Confederate Army of Northern Virginia moved toward the small crossroads town of Gettysburg. General Robert E. Lee was not seeking a decisive battle that morning. His army was spread across southern Pennsylvania. Gathering supplies, searching for shoes, and probing for favorable ground as it pushed deeper into Union territory. What began as a reconnaissance in force would, within hours, ignite into something far larger. From the northwest, along the Chambersburg Pike, Major General Henry Heth's division advanced toward town.
Forward! Steady now!
Reports suggested only Union cavalry stood in the way, a screening force at most. It appeared to be a minor obstacle, but the Union cavalry did not withdraw. Brigadier General John Buford had ridden the ground himself. He had studied the ridgelines south of town, Cemetery Hill, Cemetery Ridge, and Culp's Hill, and understood their importance instantly. Whoever controlled those elevations would command the battlefield.
They are coming. We must hold.
Artillery placed there could dominate the surrounding approaches. If the Confederates reached those heights first, they would own the field before the main Union army could arrive. So Buford made a deliberate choice. He deployed his cavalry dismounted across the ridges west and northwest of Gettysburg. His men spread thin, forming a defensive screen along Mufferson's Ridge and adjacent rises. Armed with breech-loading carbines, they could fire more rapidly than the advancing Confederate infantry. Their purpose was not to defeat Heth's division outright. Their task was to delay it long enough for Union infantry to arrive and secure the high ground.
Down through that. Us, yes.
At approximately 7:30 am, the first shots cracked across the fields. Confederate skirmishers pushed forward through farmland broken by fences and shallow rises, expecting to brush aside mounted troops. Instead, they encountered stubborn resistance. The terrain, gently sloping upward toward the Union lines, slowed their approach. Every fence became a pause under fire. Every open stretch exposed them to controlled volleys. As the morning wore on, the engagement intensified. What had begun as probing contact escalated into a growing fight. Buford's thin line bent but did not break.
Shit flash in the eye!
Near midday, the leading elements of the Union I Corps arrived from the south under Major General John Reynolds. Riding forward to assess the line, Reynolds quickly committed his men to the fight, and within minutes, he was struck and killed.
Hold the line, fire at will! Ready! Regroup! Advance! Are you?
command passed amid smoke, shouting, and confusion, but the reinforcements held the ridges Buford had bought with time. Through late morning and into early afternoon, Confederate pressure increased. Additional Southern brigades fed into the fight from the west and north. The battlefield widened. Union troops clung to successive ridgelines west of town, forming defensive positions along tree lines and slight elevations.
Steady, steady. Fire! Now!
Meanwhile, Confederate forces extended in a broad arc, gradually overlapping the Union right. By mid-afternoon, the weight of numbers began to tell. Union units north of town faced mounting pressure as Confederate divisions struck from multiple directions.
Close the gap!
Lines wavered, gaps opened. Under sustained assault, portions of the Union front collapsed. The withdrawal began not as a panicked flight, but as a forced retreat under pressure.
Fall back my company!
Yet as units funneled back through the narrow streets of Gettysburg, order frayed. Soldiers became separated from their regiments. Confederate troops pressed into town from several directions.
Secure that corner! Clear that corner.
Many Union soldiers were captured in the chaos of alleyways, gardens, and road junctions.
Drop it!
Still, the retreat had direction. Union forces fell back toward the high ground south of town, the very objective Buford had identified at dawn.
Up the hill!
Cemetery Hill became the rallying point. Units reformed along its slopes.
Hold the line! Ammunition for!
Artillery was dragged uphill in position to command the approaches. From there, the line extended southward along Cemetery Ridge, beginning to take the shape that would define the next 2 days. A long, curved defensive position resembling a fish hook. By early evening, the Confederates occupied Gettysburg itself.
There.
They had driven the Union Army through the town and held the streets. But they did not control the heights beyond it. General Lee issued discretionary orders to seize Cemetery Hill if practicable. The phrasing left room for judgment. Confederate units, exhausted from hours of hard fighting and disorganized by pursuit through town, did not mount an immediate coordinated assault on the fortified hill. That pause proved decisive. As darkness settled over the battlefield, Union reinforcements continued to arrive. Brigades marched through the night into position along Cemetery Hill and Cemetery Ridge.
2nd Brigade, anchor here!
Artillery was emplaced hub to hub. Infantry dug shallow works and aligned their regiments along the crest.
Hold this crest.
The first day ended with the Confederates in possession of Gettysburg's streets, but the Union firmly in control of the commanding terrain south of town.
Hold this ground.
And in the battles that would follow, that elevation would shape everything.